Hi, ladies, welcome back to the channel. I am Nina, and today we're going to cover a topic that I love speaking about very much, and it's going to be how to get your potential to be endeared to you. Okay, this I have found is the easiest and quickest way to make a man who is highly attracted to you actually fall in love with you. So, we're going to talk about it. Before I do, you already know the description down below has the link for my online store for your nails and your lashes. So, make sure that you go on in there, visit, and place your order. All right, let's jump straight into it. This topic, I really don't want us to waste time because I feel like it is one of those things that will change the whole game for you. Um, yeah, and give you an edge you know, above the rest. So the key word for this video is endearing. Okay, you want to be endearing or perceived as endearing. You want this man to have that affection for you. So, before we even talk about how, let's get the dictionary definition of endearment. Okay, a word or phrase expressing affection, love, or affection. Endearing is inspiring affection, lovable, and synonyms, which is what I want us to keep in mind. If you take notes, please do take notes, ladies. Very important. Charming, appealing, attractive, engaging, winning, captivating, enchanting, um, cute, sweet, delightful, lovely. Okay, so these are keywords, key elements that you need to have in your seduction arsenal, because if you meet somebody that is highly attracted to you, but you're not able to get him endeared to you, then you're going to have a very one dimensional kind of power over him, and you're going to have a one dimensional kind of relationship, most likely. So, obviously, there are so many other things that you can be to this man, right? But this is one of those, like I say, that I have found to be very effective very quickly. I'm also one of those people that, I'm energy efficient. So if I can get maximum results with minimum effort, that's where I'm going. Okay. Other things just take a little bit too much effort for me. And on top of that, all the effort that you put in is very rarely equally reciprocated. So I'm not really going to waste my time with certain things, right? So first, check out my siren video. I will link it up here somewhere. Check that out because that is, like I said, the typical seductive character that the feminine, um, comes through as mainly. So, how do you get this man who sees you maybe as a siren? How do you get him to now see you with affection and love instead of just pure physical lust? Okay. So, the easiest way to do this is position yourself as his little sister. Okay. Just sit with me for a minute. I know this sounds very weird and a little bit twisted, but just sit with me for a minute, okay? So like I said, you don't want to be one-dimensional. You want to have other aspects of you coming through when you interact with this person. So when they see you and they approach you, obviously we know how male psychology works. The first thing they're thinking about is the things, right? The deed. That is the main thing that's going to attract a particular type of man to a particular type of woman. All right. So that's nothing new, and that is a weakness that we play on, and that is why we do certain things to help them along, right? In that attraction mode. But now, when he talks to you, when he interacts with you, when you guys start getting to know each other as people, you don't want him to always come at you with that mind of, physical desire. You want him to be able to see you in different ways. This is also going to be great if you are dating somebody who's super masculine, you are very feminine, and you're open and receptive to him helping you up, upgrading you, spoiling you, whatever. Okay, it's going to be easier if you have certain character traits going on for this dynamic to happen, right? So how do you position yourself as his little sister? So first, obviously, you're going to be very generic about the little sister thing, because he may not have a little sister, or he may, but you may not know their relationship when you're first dating, or maybe for a while. So I don't want you to think about it too literally and too specifically to this particular person, but just in general, have some endearing qualities about you. Make sure that even though he sees you as sexy and hot, make sure that he occasionally also sees you as vulnerable, as sweet, as cute, as playful, as charming. I also made a video about how to be more charming and add more charm to your personality and to your character. So make sure you check it. I'm going to link it somewhere up over here. So you want to give this man a very multi-dimensional experience. You want him to experience the different aspects of feminine energy, soft feminine energy, through you. Okay? You don't want him to feel like, okay, she's got this aspect of it, but if I want something else, I'm going to have to go somewhere else. You know what I mean? You want him to feel like he's got all of that, or at least a couple of dimensions going on with you. All right. So have certain things that you play up that are cute, that are sweet, that are charming, okay, that are very almost childlike, so that you activate his protective nature towards you, okay? So I'll give you an example. One thing that I do is, when I'm having just conversations with a person, I'll always make sure that I have a blonde moment, okay? So this could be like maybe saying a wrong word that sounds like the right word, but maybe you're just a little confused. Oh, I always get them mixed up. Or, if he says a certain phrase, sometimes, it happens that he says a certain thing or speaks about a certain concept that you've maybe heard of before, but you're actually not really sure what it means. I'll always take that opportunity to ask and let him educate me and teach me, okay? Or if he, gives me advice in like a very, by the way type of thing, you should really consider doing this. You should really think about doing that, da, 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 da. Well, the next time I see him, or a couple of weeks after that, I'll make sure that whatever it is that he suggested, if it's something that is obviously aligned to what it is that I wanted to do anyway, I'll make sure that I take those steps that he advised, and I make sure that I give him that feedback so that he's aware that I'm, it almost puts him in like that mentorship kind of arena, Once again, these are the types of things that I look for in a relationship. For example, if I'm dating somebody who is a business owner, for me, it's very important to learn something from this person, right? Because the more that I learn from this person, they've gone through certain things that I haven't gone through. And I aspire to be, a successful entrepreneur. So I'll always take an opportunity to learn. And when you put him in that mentorship guidance kind of position, if that's really, who he is, once again, it's going to activate that nature, that protective nature, that guiding leadership nature in that man when it comes to you. And that, once again, is a beautiful way of really polarizing his masculinity and your femininity. Now, does this make you weak? I don't know. We can debate and go back and forth. But for me, I have no problem admitting when I don't know certain things, and I have no problem learning from people around me, and I have no qualms with learning from a man that is romantically interested or involved with me. Okay? So if that makes me weak, that's also okay. But I get first-hand lessons that a lot of people pay good money for. I get it free. Plus, if I said I wanted to start a business and I needed capital, guess who would be more than willing to help me out? So I also save on bank fees, and I probably won't need to pay that loan back. Okay. Does that make me weak? I don't know. We can debate about it. Let me know what you think, ladies. But that's how I date, right? And that's how a lot of women date. And there are a lot of women who have leveled up and maybe learned certain things through a man who was attracted to them that helped them catapult their businesses, to heights that they couldn't have reached. Or maybe they got romantically involved with these men who helped them develop their businesses further. Or the relationship, it was just platonic, and just her demeanor and her image helped people, banks, investors, whatever, take her more seriously. So I always say, and I'll always come back to this, ladies, when you are leveling up, please, please, please be super clear about the results that you want. And don't box yourself in. What you may want today from your level up may not be the same a year from now. And I think that's healthy, So leave room for evolution. Plus, if you meet somebody and you achieve that goal, you want to set another goal because it never ends, depending on how deep you go with it, right? So, ladies, don't limit yourself to thinking that a man, is only for certain things behind closed doors, and once you want more than that, then you're being greedy or you're weak or whatever. No. Understand that as you level up, you meet men who are also leveled up, and the way that things work in the leveled up community is very different from how it works in like the very basic and even mediocre circles. It's very different. It's like a job, the executive jobs and the executive positions and all of that. The experience there is extremely different from entry level jobs and, that type of thing. So we have to really see the world as it is and not how we want it to be, if we want to have success on certain things. And we have to be willing to change our mindset instead of trying to change the whole world if we want to have success in certain things. So have certain quirks that make you seem... Okay, I'm going to be very choosy about my words over here. Have certain traits and quirks and anecdotes and whatever that you use in your dating experience that help the man feel protective around you. Okay? What a lot of women do is they want to show a man how smart they are. And I'm all for being smart. I consider myself to be very smart. Okay? But what you do when you're doing that, flexing that muscle, is you're activating his competitive nature. And I don't know about you, but I'm not trying to, arm wrestle with a man. I'm not doing that. I'm not built for that. I don't aspire to that. Okay. So be very mindful about about what you activate in this man when you are in his presence and when he's in your presence. And let me tell you, ladies, when a man starts seeing you as someone that, he wants to protect, it becomes easier, like I said earlier, for you to have certain benefits in the relationship. A lot of women come to me and ask me, my gosh, I see that you're able to get this and that and the next thing from just men around you. Like, you get treated a certain way, and if they get to know me personally, they also understand how I'm treated in relationships, how men approach me already. And the reality of it is you just have to do certain things differently. And in the beginning, and I know this because, like I always say, I am an independent woman. I just don't date like one. Okay. So in the beginning, it was really difficult because a lot of my identity was in, no, I got this. I can do this on my own, right? And then I wondered why I always attracted men that watched me do everything by myself and struggle and never feel the need to help me out, because they were activated to compete against me because that's the energy that I brought, right? And they didn't have the protective nature activated towards me. But then I would find these very same men doing certain things for other women, even if it was just their friends, that they wouldn't do for me, because those women had actually activated their protective, providing nature that I hadn't activated. And when a man stays with you and he's not feeling protective over you, then his motive for being with you is very different from, how he would be with somebody that's activated that part of him. So if you see ladies that are spoilt, that are treated like princesses, that men make sacrifices for, you need to understand that there's a different nature activated in that man when it comes to this particular woman. And with that being said, I also have to really emphasize that, ladies, it's not every man that's going to fall for, your techniques, your seduction. And it's that's perfectly okay. We don't want every man. We want one or two or three. But we don't need everybody to agree. We don't need everybody to jump on board. We don't need everybody to, be attracted to us on that level. But the ones that are super attracted, if we're able to activate the other aspects of their masculinity as well, then, we're more likely to bring in the experiences that we want from that particular person or two. So be, receptive to this man. Be willing to learn from him. Be willing to, let him be like a big brother to you. Now, little sisters don't go to their big brother for absolutely everything. They've got an element of independence, which is very important. But they also know that if, what hits the fan, if I turn around and I look over my corner, my big brother is right there. He's got my back like that, right? or there's certain things that in a family setup you maybe cannot go directly to your parents as a little girl, but if you go to your brother, he might be able to help buffer situations. He might even be able to help solve your predicament before it even gets to the parents, right? So think about it that way. This is the guy that you want to be there when you need him. And he's also still going to give you that space that you're going to require as a grown woman to explore your life, and do whatever it is that you need to do. So just keep that in mind. Always have an element of being cute, of being even vulnerable, of being sweet. You don't want to be this too much though, because men are not sexually attracted to their sisters. You know what I mean? You want to have maybe 60% of other, maybe like 60% siren and 25% sister, little sister energy, and then, another, 15% of something else. So kind of that type of mindset is what we're going for. So make sure that you add that other element to it that's going to make it easier for him to see you as somebody that once in a while may need his assistance. And then if he sticks around, seeing that aspect of you, seeing that vulnerable side of you, if he still sticks around, that means not only does he think he can handle that aspect of you, he actually likes being useful and helpful. And he likes the fact that he gets to be your hero, which is every man's fantasy, right? To be some sort of hero to the woman of his choosing. So, and big brothers always want to be their little sister's hero, okay? So when he does come through for you, make sure you have the same joy and expression and, gratitude towards him that a little sister will have, right? Just have it just coming out of every single pore of you, when he does something really amazing for you. If he helps you settle a bill, or if he helps you, achieve a certain goal, he helps you with your business, he gives you advice that actually gets you booming, he invests something into your business, whatever it is that he does that is really sincerely helpful, just put your pride aside. Remember, little sisters have a lot of pride as well. Sometimes they're like, no, I don't need your help. I want to do this by myself, right? But be willing to also put your pride aside when it's really necessary, and show that level of excitement and gratitude and thankfulness and joy, okay? Because that is also fuel for masculine energy. Even if it's something simple like your first date, he takes you to a really nice restaurant. If it's a really nice restaurant and you had a really great time and he was really very accommodating, you can have whatever you want type of vibes. Make sure that, at the end of it, when you're wrapping everything up, thank you so much. I really had such a great time. This was such a great choice. I'm glad you chose this place. Or I'm glad you brought me here. I've been wanting to try it for so long. Oh, this was perfect. Give him the props, because then it also helps him, get the momentum to do it again, because he knows the kind of reward that he's going to get is, that's what he's looking for. And a lot of ladies think, oh, if a man does something for you, then he's going to expect something sexual in nature. And I think to some extent, depending on the kind of relationship you have with that person, there is that element. And I don't think there's necessarily anything wrong with that. But I think what happens with a lot of ladies is they're not able to activate the other aspect of masculine energy besides the lust aspect of it. So the only way that the man feels rewarded by you is that, right? Because you don't stroke his ego, you don't give him props, you don't brag about him, you don't tell your friends and your family, you won't believe what my man did. You don't brag to the people in the store. You don't, You don't do all of those things. You don't make him feel like a hero. You don't make him feel like he came through for you when no one else could. And that's why he's going to only seek this, because you don't offer him anything else. But if you start off already having, this level of, thank you, and you let him make the decisions, and, if you agree, then you're excited about it. If you don't agree, there's a way of, buttering him up to win him over without feeling like you're arm wrestling him. So ladies, learn to soften some of your personality and think about yourself as this man's little sister. And always lead with that, even if you have, a lot of siren going on. Lead your personality, at least have a very strong element of, being enchanting and charming and cute, so that immediately, from meeting you from day one, this man associates you with, okay, she's really sexy, but she's also really vulnerable, okay? Think Marilyn Monroe. She really knew how to play this. Think about Rihanna as well. Rihanna's also got like that childlike, when she smiles and she's being rebellious and naughty. It's very endearing because you see that youthful aspect of hers. And it makes you, fall for her or feel more attracted to her, because it's like, oh, but she's so sexy. Oh, but she's also got this. Oh my gosh, like there's just so much, and all of it is just making me feel all of these emotions. Okay, that's how you get in there. So practice your cute smile, practice your cute gestures, your cute face, and all of that kind of stuff. I will get into a video about just purely, youthful feminine energy and how that can help you in your seductive career. But yeah, this is why it's important, because men, when they feel protective around you, it becomes easier for them to be, a provider as well for you. It's kind of like the same muscle, if you get what I'm saying, if you get my drift. All right, I hope this video was helpful, and I hope I didn't lose too many of you while we were going on this little chat and this little journey. Let me know what you think about this topic. Share it with your friends, your sisters. Have this chat. What do you think about activating this man's hero fantasies by playing up your little sister vulnerability and charm? Have you used this? Has this worked for you? Is this something you think you want to try out? Let me know, and I'll definitely see you beautiful ladies in the next one. Remember to stay feminine. Bye.